My intention here was to display a representation of each caliber of Super Redhawk that has been produced by Ruger.
Colby here with Rugged Tactical, where every trigger pull tells a story and responsible gun ownership is a way of life. So we're back again, 2025, the Tulsa Wanamaker Arms Show. And I'm excited to be here as always. And we got the Ruger displays again. And Joel has a display again this year. And so you've met Joel. He's done 2 videos with me. The Super Redhawks are Joel's bread and butter, and you can check out his videos after you watch this video. Before we dive into your display, Joel, what is your first recollection and memory of your first gun?
I remember being younger, not quite sure how old I was, but my room was in the basement, and right across the hall there was a storage room, and in that storage room was my dad's gun safe. And I remember him being in his gun safe doing who knows what, and I remember him pointing to a gun and telling me, this is going to be your gun when you grow up. Mm-hmm. And then he pointed to this other one that looked identical to that one and said, this one's mine, I got us matching ones.
That's cool.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, so you got matching guns. Do you remember what caliber it was?
Yeah, it was actually a Ruger 22 single 6 with a 9.5-inch barrel. So this gun is exactly like the one that my dad had shown me. It's a 22 single 6 with a 9.5-inch barrel. I was probably roughly 8 years old.
Yeah, okay.
8 to 10 maybe.
Yeah, to have matching guns, a little bit of, father-son connection.
Yeah,
that's a
really
neat
cool
story. Yeah, piggybacking on that, do you remember your first recollection of hunting, or?
It was
Not so much. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Bow hunting with the deer.
Bow hunting.
So
okay.
Because my mom hated guns, actually.
so okay.
My dad liked to hunt, and he liked guns. My mom was okay with hunting, but hated guns. So he's like, well, bow hunt then. It's not a gun.
Okay. So bow hunting was kind of it was a substitution for that. That makes sense.
And I think until I was old enough to get a license, we didn't hunt with guns.
So he sat you down and said, hey, I got this gun for you. And, this is going to be your gun. And then would you consider that then your first gun? Or did you actually receive any other guns before this one?
Outside of a BB gun, this was probably it.
Okay. I know that was my first gun, was a BB gun. Good old BB guns.
Yep.
Let's dive into your display a little bit. And I'm pretty sure we're going to talk a little bit about Super Redhawks, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, so these displays, we come to gun shows. Our purpose and intent here is essentially to educate people on what we like and why we like it. We, as in the Ruger Owners and Collectors Society, we display guns of various topics for different reasons, and things that we like, or things that we collect, or things that we have come across to share our passion with other people. That's why we do this. For this display, it's titled the Super Redhawk Calibers. My intention here was to display a representation of each caliber of Super Redhawk that has been produced by Ruger. We can start over here with the Super Redhawk 44 Magnum. This one happens to be the 5th one produced, and it was initially shipped to Hank Williams Jr. with the serial number 5. And the Super Redhawk was introduced initially as a 44 mag, and for several years that was the only caliber that was available, was the 44 mag. So when this product line was introduced in 1986, it was a 44. Up until 1997, they came out with the 454 Casull caliber, and both of these are large Magnum caliber cartridges.
1997 Super Redhawk.
Yeah, in 1997 they released the 454 Casull and the Super Redhawk as a larger, more powerful cartridge, and the Super Redhawks were designed as a comfortable, heavy Magnum caliber hunting gun. It was also designed for personal self-defense from dangerous game and predators.
With your display, you're starting with 44 Magnum, which is a 1986 Super Redhawk, and then the 454 Casull is 1997. So are these dates the actual dates that the caliber was designed and or manufactured, or did the caliber exist but it just wasn't in the Super Redhawks?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, these calibers have been introduced, most all of them, several years prior to coming out in a Super Redhawk.
Okay, so the dates here are when Ruger actually brought it into the Super Redhawks.
That's correct.
So those are the dates that we're seeing. With regards to a 454 Casull, that is a hunting round. What type of animal are you shooting with a 454?
A lot of people like them for bears.
Okay.
It's
yeah.
not only hunting them, but also to carry as a defense weapon for bears, wildcats.
Yeah. How does that differ with regards to 44? Can you hunt bears with 44?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
Does it give you more punch, do you think?
Yep, the cartridges, the 454 Casull is much more powerful than the 44 Magnum.
Yeah.
And for a long time, the 454 was one of the most standard produced, most powerful Magnum cartridges in a handgun. And with this Super Redhawk was also the first commercially available 6-shot cylinder, whereas several other manufacturers produced the 454 Casull, but they would only have the 5 shots in the cylinder. So Ruger pioneered the 6th shot cylinder for the 454 Casull in the Super Redhawk. Yeah.
Now the 454 Casull, the Super Redhawk is not the first Ruger that it came out in, is it?
It is.
Oh, it is? Okay.
It is.
Now I know that you told me a story before about hunting boars, but that was with a 44 Magnum, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was with a gun identical to this one here in the front. However, when I went to Alaska bear hunting, I did take a similar, not this exact gun, but almost identical 454 Casull, and I carried that under my arm for that very purpose, was self-defense from bears.
Yeah.
We were in bear country.
Whenever I'm out in the wilderness and hunting, a lot of times we go muzzleloading. And with a muzzleloader, like if I was to confront a bear or have a bear, you got one shot. And so I always carry a sidearm when I'm hunting. So sounds like a great round, great gun that you could carry along with you when you're hunting. Now going back to this real quick, so this gun is, not only is it the 44 Magnum, but this, just to reiterate, this particular gun is one that was owned by, I want to say Bocephus.
Hank Williams Jr., Bocephus.
Hank Williams Jr., serial number 5. That's a really cool, special gun, very unique, and I'm sure one of your, I would assume probably one of your prized possessions.
It is.
Like the beauty of this display is you have a gun like this that has extra special significance. One, it's a low serial number. 2, it was owned by Bocephus. But then the display also gives you a feel for what the Super Redhawks come in. Now this one that you've got, where'd you pick this one up?
I actually found this one online. It was one I'd been looking for quite some time. It's a special model, as in it has a sub-name. It's called a Toklat, which is an Alaskan name. And this one was fascinating to me because, one, it's in the 454 Casull, which I really liked. And uniquely to this particular model, it has a flat-sided barrel and a 5.5-inch barrel, which is the only ones that have that barrel length as far as Super Redhawks go. Yeah, I found that gun online, and I'd been looking for one for quite some time, so I was happy to find it and get it ordered.
I mean, this is a collection in and of itself, right? To be able to have a gun in each caliber.
Sure, yeah. Some of these calibers aren't even made anymore, so I don't want to say rare, but they are not available to stores. Yeah. Or online, unless you find a used one.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with me about the 454 Casull?
No, other than I loved having it under my arm in Alaska.
I'm sure it gave you a little bit of comfort, right?
Yep, sure did. And I used it.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah. Had to take a few shots at some bears that were tracking behind us, and not to hit them, but
but kind of scare them off. Say, hey, you know what? We're here.
Yeah, we were.
See you. You're following behind us, and you're getting too close.
All of us were walking back to camp, and there were some bears, younger bears, juvenile bears, that were tracking along behind us, and we would fire a few shots a couple feet in front of them to kick up dust and to let them know that we did not really want to be followed.
Didn't we? Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go.
I'd like to take a moment to inform you of my Patreon page. Our mission at Rugged Tactical is to take you on a journey exploring the reasons why people own guns and how firearm ownership can have a positive impact in their lives. If you'd like to get on our mailing list, head over to patreon.com/ruggedtactical. There you can click on the free membership icon and add your email information. If you enjoy the content that I'm creating and would like to support the channel, consider joining one of our paid membership tiers. We have the Recruit, the Sharpshooter, and the Tactical Master tiers. Thanks for joining me today, and let's head back over to the interview.
The next one here is the 480 Ruger. So this caliber was actually designed in with Hornety. Ruger and Hornety worked together to design this caliber, and the reason for it was they wanted a more comfortable shooting gun than the 454 Casull. So they wanted to get close to the energy and the power that you get in the 454, but not have as much kickback.
Okay.
And so they made it a larger diameter cartridge and a heavier bullet, and sacrificed some of the power, the trade-off with the weight.
Sacrifice a little of the velocity, right? I would assume. So if you're making a larger diameter bullet, so you're throwing out more lead, but at a slower velocity.
Right.
Less kickback, less pop, less power as
That's
it's
correct.
coming out. Okay.
Yep, that was the purpose of the 480. And this particular one has 5 shots in the cylinder. So it was introduced with the 6 shots in the cylinder, and then because of some sticky extraction problems that they had in the field, they backed it off and made 30 of these 5-shot cylinders. And after a couple years of working through those issues, they reintroduced it in 2013 back in the 6-shot, and it's currently available today in 6-shot only.
Oh, okay. And so the 5 shots they don't make anymore.
Nope, there were only 30 of those 5 shots made.
And what one is this here that you've got?
I don't know where that falls in line with the 30. They didn't
Okay.
stop or change the serial number sequencing, as far as I know.
Okay.
So I believe it just whatever the number they stopped at is where they picked up,
And that's where
as far as I know.
Oh, okay. So do you find these anywhere? I mean, if there was only 30 made, are they around at all?
It's pretty rare to find one.
Yeah.
I looked for this one for a couple of years, probably 2 or 3 years. I spent looking for this particular one.
Similar thing, something you found online that you're like, oh, hey, what is that? Or I mean, did you already kind of know what you're looking for?
Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
I knew what it was. I knew they were out there. I did not know how many.
Yeah.
But I did know that they did exist, and so I was looking for one.
Yeah.
I've already got one in the 6-shot as well.
Yeah.
So finding one in the 5-shot was interesting, because you'd think people would want a 6-shot.
Oh.
The extra shot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And the fact that it came available, and you jumped on it, and here it is.
There it is.
So it just goes to show you, if you're online, if you're looking for things, and if you know what you're looking at and what you're looking for, you never know when something will pop up. Right?
It's true.
So they came out in 2001. So we're moving along here. We got now the 357 Magnum. This particular gun you got here, let's see, the 21-inch barrel. We did a video with Joel. So Joel's display last year actually had a gun very similar to this, different caliber. His display in Idaho and Tulsa.
Practically identical gun. Yeah, so this one here is a 357 Magnum Super Redhawk, and these were introduced similarly to, as you said, our video last year. Same essential story. These were produced and only shipped to England to meet their legislative requirements and be illegal firearms, so they have this long barrel. And the 357 is more, there were more 357s produced than the 44 mags by about 30.
Oh.
And
with regards to this specific gun,
yep.
right? The 21-inch barrel that was
21-inch
sent
barrel.
to England.
there were approximately 144 produced and sent to England, and I was able to bring this one back. And it's interesting to note that there was never a 357 Magnum Super Redhawk available otherwise, as in those 144 that were produced and sent over are the only Super Redhawks in that caliber. So.
Oh, wow. Okay, so just to restate that again. So you cannot find, or Ruger does not manufacture currently a Super Redhawk 357,
That's
period.
correct.
And so the only 357 was during that limited time frame, right?
Yep, they were this model right here.
With regards to this specific gun, again, it took a while for you to get it, right? I mean,
Yep.
looking online, waiting for something to come up. When it came up, you were there, right?
Yep, jump on the phone with our friends over in England and
Yeah.
coordinated bringing it over.
Any complications bringing something from another country into the United States?
It depends on the country. Obviously, there's different export requirements that they need to be met. Didn't really have any issues outside of the norm in bringing it over that you wouldn't have with any other gun.
That just goes to show you that not only can you look within the United States, but there's potentials for things outside of the United States. And in fact, in some regards, you may find things that are interesting or of more collectability based on something that was shipped outside of the United States. If you're looking for something, don't be tunnel visioned, you know.
Yeah.
So moving across here, now we got a 41 Magnum. And to me, that sounds kind of odd.
Yeah, the 41 Mag is a lesser known cartridge. It was designed many years ago to fill that void between the 357 Magnum and 44 Magnum. Fit somewhere in the middle. And as a distributor exclusive, Ruger produced several of these in this configuration in the 41 Mag to, I think it was Lipsy's. But yeah, they produced several of these 41 Mags, and it was a limited run.
Okay, so is this similar to the 357, meaning they no longer make 41 Mags in the Super Redhawks?
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, so we got two calibers here that, you know, it's, if you want a Super Redhawk in that caliber, limited.
You got to find a used one.
You got to find a used one and somebody that's willing to sell it.
That's right.
Why the 41 Mag?
The 41 Mag was to fit that void between the 357 Magnum as far as uses and power velocities between the 357 and the 44 Mag. Compared to the 44, it's just a little bit more narrow. I think the cases are the same height.
Yeah, so here we've got the 44 Mag on the right side, and then the 41 on the left. So basically the same length. Casing is the same length. The only difference is really the diameter, right?
So you've got, let's see, 1.29 in length. It's 1.285. It's actually a little shorter, according to this.
44 Mag is slightly shorter.
Thousandth.
Yeah, very, 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 very small difference. And then obviously different diameter bullet. Larger bullet in the 44 Mag, and the casing on the 41 is definitely more, it's more sleek, a little bit more slender.
It says the 357 is the same, 1.29. It's 1.29. 480s looks like it's 1.285 like the 44.
And then going back to the 357, so here we have the 41, and then 357 and 357, and they're the same length, right? The casing is the same length. But then again, the 357, just slightly smaller diameter than the 41. And I guess that's why you're saying it is the go-between, right? It fills the void between the 357 and the 44.
That's correct. This gun is it's essentially the same model or the same configuration as the others. However, it's got a 6.5 inch barrel as opposed to the 7.5.
Okay.
Just a distributor exclusive thing. That's the ones that they requested.
Moving around, we got the 10mm auto. Again, when I hear a 10mm, I think 9mm, but that is not necessarily accurate, right? Like it's, meaning I want to picture something that's slightly bigger than a 9.
It is slightly bigger than a 9, but the cartridge is built differently, designed differently to be more powerful than essentially the 357, and that's why it's gaining popularity, is because of its versatility. You can load it down to be more of a self-defense type gun, or load it up and actually use it as a hunting round.
It's not like a plinking round though.
It can be.
Okay.
You can load them lighter to plink, to target shoot.
Yeah.
Or load them heavier to use them for hunting.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of similar to like the 357, right? Like you've got the 38 special. Like you can, which is usually a lighter round, do more plinking with, and so the 10mm almost gives you that versatility in that you just do a lighter load.
One of the big differences is the case shape. They call it an auto because of the rimless bottom on it. It is made to be cycled through semi-autos, The case itself is, I can look at this one. Yeah, it's like, it doesn't stick out. Like the 9mm, it's flat. Whereas these ones, it's got the rim at the bottom.
Yeah, the rim. So you run your finger down it and bam, you hit the lip right there. Whereas this, you run your finger down and it's just flat all the way, like it just glides right off. And then the idea is that you can run that through a semi-auto then.
Correct.
Right.
A lot of people like this to shooting 10 mils in 1911 style handguns.
Oh, okay.
And this is the only Super Redhawk that does come standard with the moon clip for easy loading and unloading. And this is a moon clip right here and how they are loaded. So when you load the gun, you pop open the cylinder like any other double action and drop the moon clip in, essentially loading the gun.
Yeah. So with the moon clip, it facilitates, you just pop that like this. Yep.
Right, because of these cartridges are straight, they would drop in there too far. And so the moon clip is what catches at the top of the cylinder to hold the shells in place where they need to be.
Yeah. And then you just pop the whole thing out with this. Throw in another
Super
clip,
Redhawks have a
and then
typical double action ejection system where there's a spring loaded rod to pull the shells.
So there's the 10mm auto. Versatile. Now that's still in production, right?
Yep.
You can get those, and it's actually gaining popularity based on what
the cartridge itself is.
The cartridge itself is gaining popularity. You can have it in your revolver with that moon clip, and your semi-auto as well. Move on over then to our last one, the 22 Hornet. Now, when I first heard 22 Hornet, I was thinking like a 22 long rifle. But let me show you real quick. It's definitely not a 22 long rifle. I was thinking like 22 mag or whatever, the little Magnum cartridge in the 22, but it's a lot longer. So tell me a little bit about the 22 Hornet.
22 Hornet cartridge has been around for a really long time.
Yeah. And
it has always been fairly common with Ruger. They've been producing rifles in the 22 Hornet for a long time. And 2 years ago, they came out with a Super Redhawk in a 22 Hornet, which is curious because all of these other large handgun calibers are produced in the Super Redhawk, but then they come out with a small rifle varmint cartridge. One of the cool things about the Super Redhawk is, as you can see there are 8 shots in the cylinder because it's such a small diameter they could fit more rounds in, and it is currently in production today.
Nice. It says varmint hunting, intended for varmint hunting, light game applications. It looks like a fun round. One of the things you mentioned to me is that the 22 Hornet is actually heavier than the other ones, right?
That's only because the gun is the same size, same dimensions as the other Super Redhawks. However, these 45, 480 caliber guns have a larger hole, and so there's actually more steel on the 22 Hornet because it's a smaller hole.
Smaller hole, yep. Even though there's more holes too, but overall it's a heavier gun, which I think is kind of interesting.
And the 22 Hornet is particularly special to me because I have always been a fan of the 22 Hornet ever since I started shooting a lot. I really like the 22 Hornet. I've had several rifles and have 22 Hornet rifles, which I have displayed here, a 22 Hornet display, and then 2 years ago they came out with 22 Hornet and the Super Redhawk.
And the Super Redhawk,
yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that's fun. So there we have Joel's display, all 7 calibers that have ever been produced in the Super Redhawk. 2 of them that are no longer produced, 357 and 41 mag. It's nice to see them all together. Appreciate you, Joel, spending some time with me today here in Tulsa, and I look forward to the rest of the weekend. It's a lot of fun coming down here. I enjoy being around the people and hearing their stories. And so I appreciate you sharing with us today your display. As the dust settles on another rugged tactical adventure, always remember to reload your curiosity, keep the fires burning.
And we'll catch you in the next round.
Catch you in the next round. Thanks for watching.
You know what's really funny?
Except for maybe the 22, doesn't it?
You know what's really funny?
What's that?
This is actually the 41. I have them backwards on the display.
Oh.
That's funny.
So that goes over there?
Yeah, that's funny. Anyway, it looks identical, other than the barrel length. That's why I looked in that cylinder. You see the little ridge in there? That's how long the bullet is. You
Yeah.
can see inside there. I was like, that is way down there. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not even the right gun.
But then